What is your name, please?
My name is Arthur Marks.
What is your name, please?
My name is Arthur Marks.
What is your name, please?
My name is Arthur Marks.
Two of these people are imposters. Only one of them is the real Arthur Marks, and is the only one sworn to tell the truth. And here is our host, Bud Collier.
Thank you very much. And good evening. This, of course, as you know by now, is a game of deliberate misrepresentation wherein four presumably smart people try to find out which one of three challengers has sworn to tell the truth. To Tell the Truth is brought to you each Tuesday night by Geritol, America's #1 tonic, the high-potency tonic that helps you feel stronger fast. Right now, let's meet our cross-examiners. What is your name, please?
My name is Polly Bergen.
My name is Ralph Bellamy.
My name is Ilka Chase.
And my name is Hy Gardner.
Now, I can attest that these people are telling nothing but the truth. Now, these three people all claim to be Arthur Marks. Only one is the real Arthur Marks. The other two have assumed that identity, and of course, they do not have to stick to the truth. Now, panel, in front of you, you'll find a copy of an affidavit. Will you please listen and read along as I read it to you? I, Arthur Marks, a resident of California, am a novelist and playwright. I also write magazine articles, and I was once a comedy writer for Milton Berle. I believe my flair for comedy is hereditary, and my most recent book is called Life with Groucho, which is the story of my father, Groucho Marx. I swear that the above statement is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Signed, Arthur Marks. Now, we'll get on with the game in just a panel. These three people all claim to be Arthur Marks, novelist, playwright, and son of Groucho Marx. Now, remember that only the real Arthur Marks is required to answer your questions truthfully. Each of you will question until you hear this signal, and will continue for a 4-minute period, after which you will be asked to cast your vote for the one person who, in your opinion, is the real Arthur Marks. We'll start, I guess, with Hy Gardner. Hy?
All right, number one, what is there unusual about the stairway in your father's house?
It has an inclinator.
Beg pardon?
It has an inclinator.
Mm-hmm. Number two, what kind of cigars does your father smoke?
Any kind anyone gives you.
Logical. Number three, what is Groucho's favorite painting? The one hanging on the right-hand wall of his living room.
Self-portrait of myself.
Mm-hmm. Number one, what kind of a caricature is there on Groucho's cigar lighter?
It's a picture of himself.
Mm-hmm. Number one, is your father just as insulting off stage as he is on?
Frequently.
Polly?
I thought I'd put my glasses on. I did this last time and it didn't help, but I thought I'd just look. You know, sometimes you never can tell. Number one, through the dim haze, I ask you this question. Could you name all the Marx brothers for me, please?
The real names?
All right.
Well, his uncle...
No, if they're long, just the first ones, you know. Only have a minute.
Groucho is Julius, Chico is Leonard, Zeppo is Herbert, Gummo is Milton, and Harpo is Arthur.
Thank you very much. Number two, could you tell me what was Milton Berle's mother's real name?
Sandra.
Sandra what?
Berle to me.
Number one, could you tell me Milton Berle's mother's real name? I understand you wrote for him.
I couldn't tell you Milton Berle's real name.
Ralph Bellamy.
Number three, where were you born?
New York City.
New York City. Where did you live on the West Coast?
I've lived several places in the West Coast.
Did you ever live in Beverly Hills?
Yes.
Whereabouts? What address?
La Cienega Boulevard.
Cienega Boulevard. Number two, were you ever interested in sports?
Yes, I was.
What was your game?
Tennis.
Where'd you play?
I played mostly at the Beverly Hills Club.
Beverly Hills.
Ilka Chase.
Number two, you say in your affidavit that you're a comedy writer. Did you ever write for your father?
Yes, I did.
Get any laughs?
Well, he didn't seem to think so, so I wrote for Berle.
They want to hire you back again, I suppose. You also say that you write for magazines. In what magazine has your most recent piece appeared? Again, number 2.
Collier's.
Number...
They're out of business now.
Yes, it is out of business.
Now, it's time now for just one final question from each of you. So, Hi, we'll begin with you.
Well, number 1, when was the last time your father voted Republican?
I never been in the booth with him.
Holly, final question.
Number 1, all joking aside, do you happen to know Milton Berle's mother's real name without being funny?
Not without not being funny.
Oh, I thought you were being very funny.
Ralph?
Number 2, who's your father's agent?
His brother Gummo.
Ilka?
Number 3, when is your father's birthday?
January 22nd.
What
All right,
year?
now it's
That I
time to
couldn't
vote.
divulge.
Now it's time to vote, and without consultation, panel, will you mark your ballots and select either number 1,
On the outside.
number 2, or number 3. May I have the ballots, please? Now remember that the team of challengers will get $250 for every incorrect vote. That means, of course, that if they fool the entire panel, they stand to divide $1,000. Now this is Polly Bergen's ballot. She votes for number 3. Ralph Bellamy selected number 1. Ilka Chase picked number 1. Hy Gardner voted for number 1. All right, the votes are in. Minds are all made up. Minds of our home audience, too, I assume. So right now, let's find out which one of these 3 men is the son of Groucho Marx. Will the real Arthur Marx please stand? Thank you very much, sir. Number 2, would you tell us who you really are?
My name is Roger Von Ost, and I'm in the insurance business.
Von Ost, did you say?
Yes.
Well, isn't there am I wrong? Isn't there a famous name in show business?
He changed.
Henry Morgan.
That's right, he's my brother.
Your brother, Henry Morgan's brother. How do you know? Welcome to you, sir. And number 3, would you tell us who you really are, please?
My name is Richard Porter, and I'm an employment interviewer for the Professional Office of the New York State Employment Service, hiring psychologists and college teachers.
I see. Well, it's nice having all of you, and we find that there was only 1 incorrect vote tonight
I thought he'd know her name.
for $250 from Geritol. That you will divide, gentlemen, among you. Thank you very much for being with us. Good night and good luck. Now let's have our next team of challengers.
What is your name, please?
My name is Jan Wells.
What is your name, please?
My name is Jan Wells.
What is your name, please?
My name is Jan Wells.
Now, panel, will you please listen while I read this affidavit? I, Jan Wells, am a professional bullfighter. In the past 6 months, I have successfully killed 2 bulls, and in April, I will perform in the Plaza de Toros in Juarez, Mexico. Before my career in the bull ring, I drove a taxi for a living. Last year, I performed as a singer and won on the Arthur Godfrey Talent Scout Show. I swear that the above statement is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Signed, Jan Wells. Now, our panel will be back with more. Proceed to our next round and see how well we do this time, panel. To play our game, may I remind you that these 3 people all claim to be Jan Wells, professional bullfighter. Remember, only the real Jan Wells is sworn to answer your questions truthfully. Again, you will question till you hear the signal. After 4 minutes, you'll be asked to register your votes for the one that you select. This time, let's start with Ilka Chase.
Number 3, when you're learning to be a bullfighter, what's the first thing they teach you?
To watch out for the bull.
He's quicker on your feet than he is on his, huh? Number 1, when you go to the box office place at the Bull Ring to buy your tickets, what is the first thing they always ask you?
Whether you like to sit in the sun or in the shade.
Number 2, could you name 5, or will you name 5 movements in bullfighting, just as there are in ballet? I believe there are certain movements. I think the Veronica is one. Would you name 5 of those particular
Name just
things?
a couple and we'll know we haven't too much time.
Well, 2.
Well, there's several, like you said, the Veronica and the Caruso.
I think that'll do to show you knowledge of it. Now we move along, if you please, to High Garden.
Well, number 3, in the bull ring, after a fight, the audience throws things at the matador, not like at Ebbetsfield, but like in Mexico. What do they throw?
Well, that would depend on how badly or how well you fought.
I see. Now, what, number 1, is the name... What is the name of a fellow from Brooklyn who became a very famous bullfighter?
Sidney Franklin.
Also, number 1, a bullfight's held by day or by night?
In the afternoon.
Number 2, have you ever fought in Mexico City?
No.
Polly?
Number 3, as a bullfighter, could you tell me 2 well-known female bullfighters besides yourself?
Well, there's Pat McCormick, and there's Betty Ford.
I see. Number 2, you said you were a singer. Did you work professionally?
Oh, a little, off and on.
I see. Did you ever work in any nightclubs in the United States?
A small one in my hometown.
Where is your hometown?
Long Beach.
I see.
Ralph?
Number 1, what is your voice?
Contralto.
Contralto. Will you hit middle C?
I don't know. I can't read music.
Number 2, what is your voice?
I can sing most any range.
Most any key.
Most any key. Right?
Hit a key, will you?
Well.
All right. Number 1, what year was Isadora Gonzalez killed in the ring in Barcelona?
It's me.
Number 2, what year was Isadora Gonzalez killed in the ring in Barcelona?
I couldn't tell you.
Number 3.
I'm afraid I couldn't either.
Number 1, how many taxis in New York City?
Taxis.
Yeah.
Millions.
Ilka Chase.
Number 2, I see why Ralph asked that question, because you say in your affidavit that you used to drive a taxi. Would you mind telling us what an average taxi man averages per week? What would you say the sort of income was?
Oh, it depends on your tips. I know for myself I got around between $50 and $75. But this is if the tips are good.
Well, for a pretty girl, I think they'd be pretty good.
That's all the time we have, I'm afraid, except for one final question from each of you. Hi, Gardner, what is your final question?
Well, number 3, what happens to the bulls after they are killed?
Well, they're slaughtered and given to the poor for food.
Polly?
Number 3, could you tell me what portion of the meter does the cab driver take home, and what portion does the taxi company keep? What percentage? In other words, do you keep 40% of the meter, or what?
Which one are you asking, Polly?
I'm sorry, number 3.
Number 3.
I was looking at it and I was thinking I said it. Forgive me.
Well, I took home 10% of the meter, plus a
10% of the meter?
plus a base salary while I was driving.
I see.
Ralph?
Number 1, what happened as a result of your appearance on Arthur Godfrey's program?
Oh, I stayed on Mr. Godfrey's program for 2 weeks.
Ilka? Final question.
Number 2, if it was you who were on Arthur Godfrey's program, what did you sing?
I sang Love is a Many Splendid Thing.
Okay, panel, time to vote. Now, no consultation. Will you please mark your ballots and select either number 1, number 2, or number 3. And again, may I have the ballots, please? Here we have Polly Bergen's ballot first. She votes for number 3. Why, Polly?
Well, she carries herself, I think, more like a bullfighter than the other two. That's the reason why I didn't say the number. I was so sure it was her, but I took it for granted everybody knew I was asking number 3.
Ralph Bellamy selected number 3. Why was that your selection, Ralph?
I was fairly well persuaded that number 1 and 2 aren't singers.
Are not singers, I see. Ilka Chase picked number 2. What was the reason for your choice, Ilka?
I kind of forget. I was going to pick number 1 because she knew about the sides, sol or sombre, sun or shade, and that's what made me think at first it was she, but then I forget, something happened in the meantime that made me go for number 2.
Well, Hi Gardner voted for number 1. Hi, what was your reason?
Well, I picked number 1 because number 1 is a redhead, and a redhead will do anything.
All right, now, here we are. The votes are all in. Minds are made up. So are yours at home, I hope. Let's find out which one of these 3 lovely young ladies is the professional bullfighter. Will the real Jan Wells please stand? All right, thank you. Yes, sir.
Slight question I'd like to ask number 1.
What's that?
When you go into the ring, do you have to cover your hair?
No, sir, the bulls are colorblind.
Bulls are colorblind.
Most people don't know that. All right, now, number 2, let's find out who you really are, please.
My name is Patricia McCormick, and I'm the diver.
She very modestly said that. She's not just a diver. She is very much the diver. She's the Olympic champion who won, 2 gold medals in the 1952 Olympics and 2 more in the recent ones, in 1956. And number 3, would you tell us who you really are, please?
Well, my name is Peggy Parker, and I'm secretary to Mark Goodson of Goodson Todman Productions, the producer of the show.
I imagine you've seen Miss Parker going and coming in the Goodson Todman office, and you just didn't notice. So that'll learn you next time to look at what. All right, let's see how well we made out here now. We had exactly 1, 2, 3 incorrect votes for a total of $750 from Geritol to be divided among you. Thanks very much for being with us, ladies. Hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Good night. Now let's have our 3rd team of challenges, please.
What is your name, please?
My name is Dave Erb.
What is your name, please?
My name is Dave Erb.
What is your name, please?
My name is Dave Erb.
Now, once again, panel, will you follow along while I read this affidavit? I, Dave Erb, weigh 115 pounds, which is as much as I've ever weighed as a jockey. I have ridden many famous horses during my 18 years of competition at racetracks all over the country. I travel by trailer, and for a month or so every year, I return to my home to help run the restaurant that I own. I have won hundreds of races, but my greatest win came last year when I rode Needles to victory in the Kentucky Derby. I swear that the above statement is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Signed, Dave Erb. And we'll start our cross-examination in just... All right, these people all claim to be Dave Erb, the jockey who won the recent Kentucky Derby, and we'll start this time with Polly Bergen. Polly?
Number 1, could you tell me exactly where is Hollywood Racetrack in California?
Well, it's on the outskirts of Hollywood.
What is it near what suburb, number 1?
Well, I'd say it's around Beverly Hills.
Number 2, could you tell me where Hollywood Racetrack is near?
I say it's near Beverly Hills.
And number 3, could you tell me where Hollywood Racetrack is?
It's close to Inglewood, California.
Oh, thank you.
Ralph Bellamy.
Number 1, what track announcer was famous for his announcement, and here comes Malicious?
Well, I tell you the truth, is that Mr. Bellamy? I just ride these horses. I don't pay too much attention to names and figures.
Number 2, same question.
I think I would. I'm trying to think of his name now.
Number 3, same question.
I don't believe I could tell you, sir.
All right. Number 2, what announcer announced the wrong horse at the Kentucky Derby and then apologized for it over the air?
Oh, I know the name too. That's
Ilka Chase.
Number 3, when you're racing, do you talk to your horse?
Well, yes, at times, yes.
What do you say to it?
Well, we just kind of holler and scream and...
Does he talk to you?
He better not.
No sass, huh? Number 2, do you talk to your horse?
Oh, I whisper a little bit.
You're afraid you might get separated from him? Well, number 3, when you're racing, do you... number 1, I beg your pardon. When you're racing, do you talk to your horse?
Oh, ma'am, what I say to my horse in a race, I don't think I could say on television.
Hi, Gardner.
Well, number 2, take a look at me. Could I be a jockey?
Well, can you ride a horse?
I'm afraid you'll have to retire with that. It's time for only one final question from each of you. Polly, what's yours?
Number 3, could you tell me who owns Needles?
It's the D&H stable.
Thank you.
Ralph?
Can I ask 2 quick ones that go together?
I'll make them fast.
How old are you?
34.
Number 3.
34.
34. At what age did you start?
About 14.
Ilka?
14.
Number 2, who makes your boots?
Oh, I have a bootmaker in San Antonio, Texas that makes mine.
Hi?
Number 3, who is Swifty Morgan?
You're referring to me?
Yes, number 3.
I don't believe I know, sir.
That's it. Time to mark your ballots. So please do so, if you will, panel. And your selection must be, of course, either for number 1, number 2, or number 3. May I have the ballots, please? First ballot is Polly Bergen's. She votes for number 3. Ralph Bellamy selected number 3. Ilka Chase picked number 3. Hi Gardner voted for number 2. All right, there we are. The votes are in. Minds are made up. Let's find out now which one of these gentlemen is a jockey who won the recent Kentucky Derby. Will the real Dave Erb please stand? Good voting there, panel. Number 1, tell us who you really are, please.
Oh, my name is Jackie Warner, and I'm a ballet dancer.
And number 2, who are you, sir?
My name is Dave. No, my name is Robert Lane. I'm a writer on that other network.
Oh, that other network. Well, it's certainly nice having you with us, and I want to find out from Dave, where is this restaurant of yours?
Why, we just opened a restaurant in Phoenix, Arizona called the Irby Derbies.
The Irby Derbies?
That's right.
Cute name. Good luck to you with it.
Thank you, sir.
Let's find out how well you did tonight. It was not too well for you, good for the panel. There was only one incorrect vote for $250, which means a total of $250 from Geritol. Thanks so much for being with us. Hope you had a good time. We did. Good night. Well, I guess that's about all we have time for, panel, so good night.
Good night.
Good night.
And good night. Right now, until next week, this is Bud Collier reminding you to tell the truth. Good night, everybody.
Travel arrangements for To Tell the Truth are made through American Airlines. American Airlines flies our contestants luxurious comfort for DC-7 flagships. To Tell the Truth is a Mark Goodson, Bill Codman production in association with the CBS Television Network. Thank you.